We have an interesting program lined up for you this evening, and we look forward to your participating in the discussion. Now, Marjorie,
Anselm, hi.
welcome
I haven't seen you in so long.
to
I forgot what you look like.
SOMO again.
Yes.
I think you are in retirement now, is that true?
Almost. Friday's the last day.
Friday's the last day.
Friday is the last day for real.
So,
It's just taking a long time for school to end.
so there's no more commuting to Staten Island? Is that what that means?
No. There's no more commuting to Staten Island.
So,
Isn't that something?
what kind of going out party do they give you?
Well, we'll see on Friday how that works out. And I'm not giving myself a going out party because parties stress me out. So, it was yesterday, when I went and signed my papers, and it went by so fast, and I was just kind of shocked how quick and then I was kind of stunned. I walked out of there kind of stunned, and they were like, congratulations, and I'm like, yeah, I guess so. But then this morning I woke up and I'm like, hey, I'm free, and I don't have to, I don't know, I just looked at everything differently today, so it's okay. I mean, I think this has been making me nervous for a couple of days. My stomach's been turning. But, yesterday, on my birthday, I signed my papers, and free.
Your birthday was when yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I actually wished you a happy birthday.
Yeah, and you don't even remember that you did that.
Yeah. I try to wish all my friends a happy birthday. Happy birthday is always a great day.
Yeah, and it was a good birthday. So, just that fact alone made it, was the icing on the cake, even though I didn't have any cake. And I actually would like some cake. Yeah, where's my cake, Anselm? You talked about me not bringing you cake on your birthday, so where's mine? Cupcake, a vegan cupcake, something healthy cupcake.
Yeah. Okay.
Where's that? I'm really tired of this flag stuff, and
What's your take on that?
Well, what's the story? What's the latest on this, first of all? And then, it's not, I don't think flags go out and make people kill one another. And
even later than that is the use of the nigger
symbolism.
word
Yes, that.
by
I just turned the TV off yesterday. I just couldn't take it. I'm like so sick of this. I'm sick of it. It's
that other people are deciding for the president whether he should use that word or not.
Yes,
that's the way I look at it. I mean, it's like we want.
Well, I need to hear the whole president's story. So the president, did you have an excerpt of what he said?
No.
Okay.
He went on I could bring that up. While we talk about the president, went on this guy's show, a podcast that he normally holds in a garage, just like we have a podcast here. This is a podcast.
Okay.
And people were upset. Most of the white media was upset that the president used the word nigger.
In what context did the president use this?
That is what we are going to get up
and then this clown, I'm sorry, CNN host
Don Lemon.
Yes, stunt backfires. His Twitter uses lampoon he attempts to exploit the, so I guess we could bury the word and bury the flag and racism will be over in the United States.
Yeah. To me, it was just...
what was that, a couple of months ago or weeks ago, if you Google the word nigger, you come up with the White House. So I guess Obama's like, I guess he's not supposed to use that word. Huh?
Well, let's hold up. Let's bring this up, because this is the use of the word, the N word, by the president. And
is it all queued up? You should listen first.
No, I don't have a problem. Did you have a problem with the president using that word?
No, I need to hear. I read it, but I didn't. I was just so tired of hearing the same news.
Let's
what is going on in the world right now other than this?
Let's see if we can get this here. Hold on.
At least for most people, especially the President of the United States, but President Obama went there. On comedian Mark Maron's podcast, WTF, that's what it's called, he was making a point about racism still existing in the United States, and the President used language that many consider offensive.
The legacy of slavery, Jim Crow, discrimination in almost every institution of our lives, that casts a long shadow. And that's still part of our DNA. That's passed on. We're not cured of it. Racism. We are not cured of. Clearly. And it's not just a matter of it not being polite to say nigger in public. That's not the measure of whether racism still exists or not. And it's not just a matter of it not being polite to say nigger in public. That's not the measure of whether racism still exists or not. Racism. We are not cured of. Clearly. And it's not just a matter of it not being polite to say nigger in public. That's not the measure of whether racism still exists or not. It's not just a matter of overt discrimination. Societies don't overnight completely erase everything that happened 200 to 300 years prior.
It is taboo.
The message that the president had, forget what he was saying. It's just that the fact that he used, and he didn't say nigga, as our students would say. He said nigger.
I find it to be offensive.
Which part?
That the media is deciding whether he can use that word or not. I mean, I was watching.
I mean, but what about the context of what he was saying? They're not saying, I mean, and that's he just said that's not the issue. That is not the issue. The issue is that people are deeply wounded by racial discrimination and racism. It's not the issue of whether a person uses that word or not. In public, he said. In public. Because we don't know what people are saying privately. I mean, he just came out and said the real deal. And so, but all they can do is harp on him using that word. I hope he, please do not come back and apologize for saying what he said. Please.
I don't think he's going to come back and apologize. His wife
that.
is not going to allow him to apologize.
I hope not. She probably said,
because
nigga, please.
I don't see. Yeah. And the thing about it that bothers me is which one of the media is making this a big deal.
What do you mean, which one?
Well, the white media. They're making this a big issue, and
because that's the easy way to get around actually having a true discussion.
And there was someone
racism.
last night on RNN. I don't know what RNN stands for.
I think that's a Russian news, but yeah.
Yeah, there was 3 white guys with 1 black guy, and the host was white as well.
Right.
And the black guy was trying to tell them there was a Republican strategist, there was another guy, and there was another woman, and then there was the host. And the black guy was trying to tell them, why don't you go to Charleston, South Carolina, and ask the black people there if they got a problem with what the president said. Or as a matter of fact, why don't you go in America and ask most of the black folks if they had a problem with what the president said. You know what that reminds me of? It reminded me of a Super Bowl commercial where there was a white guy in the elevator. And
you told me
he was talking like a
commercial.
Jamaican. And oh my God, the white media was upset. Oh, how could you do that to Jamaica? That is so bad. You are... They went to Jamaica. The Jamaicans were like, man, we need more like that. We are happy to hear people trying to talk like us. That's okay. We didn't find nothing wrong with it. But somehow, the media wants to decide what is okay and what is not okay. And it's unfortunate that most of the time it's the white media. And they're making decisions. They're trying to make these decisions for us, just like they're trying to make this decision for Obama. For President Obama. I mean, you hear them trying to change the details behind what happened.
Yeah, and the fact that let's not talk about the
terrorism,
murder, right? But we could talk about the president using this.
Yeah.
So what's this? CNN's host stunt backfires. I didn't read the story.
That's on
Atlanta Black Star.
Yeah, the Atlanta Black Star.
What did he? Did you see this? I mean, I turned the television off just watching him because he's such a
Well,
clown.
okay.
Well, I can read this for you. Controversial CNN anchor Don Lemon inserted himself into the nation's already heated debate of the N-word. The conversation was sparked after the media pounced on President Obama's use of the word in a wide-ranging interview for Mark Maron's podcast. Obama used the word in context and talked about how it was no longer acceptable to use the word, but there are other ways of being racist. Monday night, Lemon tried to discuss offensive words and symbols by alternately holding up a sign with the word nigger and then the Confederate flag. Each time he asked, "Does this offend you?" According to USA Today, Lemon had previously said journalists should be able to use the N-word, but it was relevant to the story. Lemon had made several controversial statements in the past, such as asking if a missing plane was sucked into a black hole. While reporting on Ferguson, Missouri protests over police shooting of Michael Brown, Lemon said he smelled marijuana. I remember that. Some of Lemon's past statements, where he agreed with Fox News commentator O'Reilly, have drawn criticism in the black community. And during a live report last week from Charleston, South Carolina, he repeatedly interrupted a woman who called him an Uncle Tom.
We have that. we have that video. Let's
Let me hear that. Well,
let's see.
Is
Let's
it
see if we
queued up?
can
Let
get.
me-
Yeah, it's queued up.
All right.
Let's get that one. We have that one. Let's get that one.
I mean, I should say, just a short time ago, this street was open for the first time since this shooting. There is now traffic by the Mother Emanuel Church. The church itself is not open for some time. I'm joined now by Don Lemon, who's here with me.
And a friend.
Yeah, I missed a little bit of the show.
Yeah. Well, you can understand why people are upset because, this doesn't happen. This shouldn't happen to anyone. The whole thing that we have been talking about is whether this is terrorism or not. And I think it is terrorism. By any stretch of the imagination, you can understand that people are upset. But, we're going to continue to talk about that.
The president himself said he's angry today.
Right.
And local leaders said they are angry, too, that violence like this can't happen in a church. But everyone I've spoken to as well has also talked about healing.
I just think it's really sad that when we have 9 people who've lost their
We're
lives.
going to take a break. We're going to take a break.
And
so
we have to deal with something like this. But I think it's important, too, that people see the ignorance of it.
Start praying. Stop praying.
To that meme on Twitter. There you go. With people editing the sign to read "Please fire me." Twitter user Michael Singleton used Photoshop to edit the sign to read "My constant ploy for attention." Salon accused Lemon of exploiting the recent Charleston shootings for ratings. Yes, the idea that a theoretically respected national news anchor would use a murder of 9 people and the ensuing conversation about racism in America to make his own gratuitous, self-promotional meme. How do you say that? Meme. It really is pretty offensive, said Salon writer. Social media has already become a battleground with people taking to platforms like Twitter and Facebook to express their views about the Charleston massacre. Most of the comments have condemned the shooter, but in Texas, a volunteer firefighter, Curtis Cook, was terminated after he posted, "He needs to be praised for the good deed he has done," on a Facebook page about the shooting. An hour later, he was told to report to a supervisor's office with his belongings and was fired. In a tearful TV interview, Cook said his comments were taken out of context